Senator Bernie Sanders has been declared as the winner of the New Hampshire Democratic primary. 22 News anchor Taylor Knight is live in Manchester to break down the results.
According to an NBC News projection, Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire primary by about 4,000 votes over Pete Buttigieg. But back in 2016, Sanders actually won this primary by a much larger margin. Still, Sanders' win here marks an important comeback for him after a heart attack put him off the campaign trail for several weeks in October. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar finished close behind Sanders and Mayor Buttigieg here in New Hampshire, but there was quite a gap between them and the rest of the pack, including Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and former Vice President Joe Biden. Senator Sanders spoke to a large crowd of his supporters in Manchester to remind them what he's fighting for.
Our campaign is not just about beating Trump. It is about transforming this country. It is about having the courage to take on Wall Street, the insurance companies, the drug companies, the fossil fuel industry, the military-industrial complex.
Some other big stories from the day included Andrew Yang and Michael Bennet dropping out of the race before the final poll results were even released, and former Vice President Joe Biden deciding to cancel his event in Nashua and head down to South Carolina a day early. And the presidential primary here in New Hampshire is always the first one to happen across the entire country, so that means it gets a lot of attention. Candidates were campaigning here for weeks ahead of this primary. It helps attract attention from supporters, opposers, and local and national media. Many of the candidates were working towards Tuesday's primary for months, if not years. It was also a day that many people here in New Hampshire were looking forward to because it meant that the primary craziness was finally coming to an end.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you get 9,000 phone calls a night. You got to vote for this one, you got to vote for that one, and it's ridiculous.
I stay away from it. I mean, I work in downtown Manchester. This time of year, it's kind of crazy.
Well, unfortunately for them, it's written into New Hampshire state constitution that the Granite State will always be the first primary held in the country, so it doesn't look like the attention is going to stop anytime soon. All eyes will now turn to Nevada and South Carolina, who will hold their primary elections on February 22nd and the 29th. In Manchester, New Hampshire, Taylor Knight, 22 News.